Inside the Mind, the making of a serial killer. Plainfield, Wisconsin was a town so quiet that the wind seemed louder than its people. Farmhouses sat miles apart, and in winter the fields froze into silver sheets under a sky the color of tin. Out on the edge of those fields stood a crooked farmhouse everyone simply called the Gine Place. No one went near it after dark. Ed Keene lived there alone. To the townsfolk he was polite, shy, always willing to fix a tractor or shovel a driveway. But his eyes never stayed long on anyone's face. Inside the house, his mother's voice still ruled. She had filled those rooms with warnings about sin and punishment, and when she died, Ed sealed her bedroom like a tomb. Dust thickened, curtains stayed shut, clocks ticked without rhythm. The house became a shrine to silence. Loneliness can twist thought like frost on a branch. Ed read pulp magazines and old anatomy books by a single lamp, chasing comfort in strange places. In his mind, the line between memory and reality began to smear. He spoke to her, his mother, as though she were only sleeping, promising he would make things right, promising he would never be alone again. Plainfield was the sort of town where gossip traveled faster than trucks. People noticed his odd errands, the midnight trips to the graveyard, the way the light burned in his windows until dawn. They joked nervously about the quiet man on the hill. No one thought to knock on his door. Then came the disappearances. A shop owner who never opened one snowy morning, footprints in the drifts leading away from her store. The sheriff followed them until they ended at the Gine farm. What they found inside would stain the town's name forever, though the papers printed only hints. Headlines screamed House of Horrors, but the locals stopped reading. They could not bear to picture what had lived so near. When they brought him in, Ed looked almost relieved. He answered softly, as if explaining a chore. Reporters called him a monster. Yet psychologists saw something else. A man crushed by solitude and shaped by fear, trying to rebuild the world exactly as it had broken him. He seemed puzzled that anyone was angry. "I didn't think it was wrong," he said once, eyes blank as winter sky. The courthouse filled with spectators who whispered prayers behind their hands. After the verdict, Plainfield tried to bury the story, but stories like that do not stay buried. One night before the state could auction the property, the farmhouse burned. Flames turned the sky orange. Snow hissed as it melted. No one claimed to know who struck the match, and no one asked. The people called it justice by fire. Ed spent the rest of his life behind walls that echoed more loudly than his house ever had. Years blurred. Writers and filmmakers came to harvest his legend, shaping it into masks, movies, and myths. They made fortunes retelling what Plainfield wished to forget. Today, the field where the house once stood is empty. In summer, it grows tall with weeds. In winter, it lies bare and white. Travelers who stop there say the air feels heavier, as if sound itself refuses to enter. Locals lock their doors when the wind howls from that direction. Remembering how kindness can hide decay, how quiet madness can grow until it fills a whole horizon. If you stand there at dusk, you might hear it, the faint hum of a radio, the creak of a rocking chair, or only the wind through the broken fence. But you'll walk away quicker than you came, because every town tells itself that evil is somewhere else, far away, wearing a mask. Yet the truth of Plainfield whispers otherwise. Monsters do not come from the dark. They come from loneliness, from grief, from the silence we choose not to break. This is Inside the Mind, where we remember that evil seldom roars. Most times it only waits patient as winter until someone finally listens.